Hey guys, good evening. Now this is really Sunday night, right? And immediately we already have Joyce coming in and say hi to me. welcome in everyone. This is me, Jason. This is the Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. So we've been doing this for the consecutive. This is already the 5th week we're doing this. The whole idea of this night show is to to come in and answer your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing for half an hour. But although you can still, of course, we are still open for everyone to ask your questions and everything, right? But I really want to dedicate today's episode on the latest hoo-ha. Recently, especially if you're running ads on Facebook, you definitely receive this notification directly from Facebook saying that, they are really complaining about all the issues that is happening about, the latest Apple iOS 14 update. Now, a lot of people have been asking me questions that some of you even email me and, message me asking about this. And that's why I would say, let's run one session of this to really help you understand what is really going on. So for those who are watching this live right now, thank you so much for tuning in. Can you quickly say hi so that I know you're with me? And if you find this, if you think this is the topic that you want your friends to listen, you can still either share this video to them. But fundamentally, if you're on Facebook group, then we won't be able to do much, right? Hey, HUI, what's up? Yeah, the update sucks. I know, but it's not that bad. But however, I think whether it sucks or not, it's already gonna happen. So what happened was, this latest update is gonna hit Facebook ads in a bad way. That's why Facebook actually launched a very aggressive PR attack on Apple. So they actually run some press ad. I saw actually they run a full page press ad attacking Apple about this thing. So what they're saying here is from Apple's perspective. I mean, let's take a look at this on two angles. Now, Apple's perspective would be they're trying to protect the privacy of the users, whereby they want to make sure that all the applications and everything within the operating system, when they're actually using or capturing or tracking your so-called your activities on the app or on the platform, everything has to be very transparent. So Apple was arguing that the users has the right to know what are they sharing with the applications itself. And on the other hand, Facebook is saying, Apple doing this is like creating a more closed environment for information to flow. And they are saying that this is really limiting the businesses, as in like the small, medium businesses, in terms of, retargeting and doing meaningful ads to help them increase their revenue and so on and so forth. So, yeah. So, hey, Maria, hey, what's up? So, yeah, so that's what is happening. So fundamentally, the iOS 14 update is going to impact, the advertisement on a few angles. But let me break it down to you. Fundamentally, what is really happening in a very, very super layman term, okay? Let me share with you. What is really happening is Apple, with their iOS 14 update, they are building a operating system-wide ad blocker. Put it this way, they're actually like building an operating system-wide ad blocker, as if like, whenever we are running, when you're browsing on your desktop or something, right, you can actually install this ad blocker where, you can say that you don't want the ads to come to you and you block all the ads and all, so on and so forth. And this is kind of like what is really happening on the operating system-wide, as in, it's gonna be a lot harder for businesses to do retargeting and stuff like that. So it's like an operating system-wide. So how bad is the impact? Apple controls about 30% of the market share of the mobile devices market. So 30%, at least 30% will actually impact. But on the other hand, what we are looking at here is when this thing takes effect and people kind of like it, what's going to happen is Android is going to follow suit. But Android is in the kind of like a more tricky situation here, because you see Google itself owns an advertising platform, whereby Android is kind of like an operating system. So they will have some conflict in between themselves. But however, that is already something that is going to happen. Put it this way, moving forward, the whole world will look a lot more seriously on the privacy part, as more and more countries are forcing towards the privacy implementations and all that. So let's assume that this is going to happen. So the first thing first, to help you understand, the iOS 14 update is going to create an operating system-wide ad blocker system, whereby what is going to affect? Okay, in fact, it's not that bad, but let me break it down to you. What are the important developments? The first thing first, okay, when this thing happens, they will actually cause delay in reporting. You see, whenever we are running advertisement, okay, the reporting in the ads manager will say that, how many conversions that you have captured, how many people that you have viewed, and then you can actually come in and see what is the breakdown, like gender, location, age, So this reporting is gonna be delayed for iOS devices. No more real time. In fact, the real time is not that real time, but based on our tracking, I think when a conversion happens, until the time it appears on the, what do we call, the ads manager reporting, we usually see about half an hour to 2 hours delay. But what is going to happen here is when the iOS 14 take place and implemented and roll out, when more and more users, all those users who actually opt into this iOS 14, it will cause up to 3 days delay in terms of the reporting. The data would definitely not be real time. Why? Because what Apple is doing here is they're actually creating a new kind of like a server whereby, at the moment, all the reports, as in like all the metrics, will actually directly reported as and when it happens on the application. It will directly goes to, the Facebook server, and Facebook will be able to report it right away. But what is going to happen now here is Apple is creating a router in between, whereby it will come to Apple first, then only Apple will release the data back to Facebook. So this is why Facebook is so crazy and so angry about it, right? So this is one of the reasons. Okay, so that's the first thing. The delay in reporting is definitely going to happen. So this is going to be something that you will see. Now, the second thing is there will be no support for breakdowns, as in like when the conversion and everything, all this happens, right? Last time when we are able to see inside the ads manager, what we can do is we can actually go in by breaking down to see, out of these 50 conversions that we receive, we want to break down by gender. So we know that how many percent are female, how many percent are male, and we can even break down by location and, location as in region, age, and all this, even placement. What we can see is I want to see, do I have more conversions coming from Instagram or Facebook? So that is going to happen. That is going to be gone. I mean, based on what I understand from Apple's website, I don't think this is gone. It will be there if the audience choose to opt in. Because what's going to happen here is moving forward, all the applications, Apple will pop up a screen asking you that, first they need to detail down what are the things that they are collecting from from you. So the gender, the location, and all this kind of thing. And you have the right to say whether you want to allow or not to allow. So a lot of people were saying that a lot of people would say not allowed. But I think at the moment, based on what we understand, I think the sentiment is about half-half. I don't know. I don't have a very solid data. I didn't do research on this, but there are different school of thought of people talking about this thing. But I think that is definitely going to impact the whole thing. So yeah, so the second issue here is the second impact that we're going to have is there will be no support for breakdown for iOS users already. So moving forward, right, so the iOS users data coming in, especially the conversion coming from iOS, will not be able to reflect, as in like you won't be able to go in to do breakdown by age, gender, location, and placement. Like I say, this is going to happen to Apple as well. I mean, sorry, Google as well. So yeah. And then the next thing is going to be the attribution window. Now, this is really something on the more advanced side, whereby, last time when we are actually doing all this conversion tracking breakdown, we are able to break down by up to 28 days attribution window. So what does it mean? It means when a person sees your ad or click on your ad, within 28 days, as long as they actually convert, it will be attributed to the window itself. But for now, what they're saying here is, what is going to happen is instead of 28 days click through or view through, they will say that it will be string to up to 7 days view through attribution window. So 7-day view through attribution window will not be supported for active campaign. So they will say that everything, the attribution window will be shortened. So of course, this is going to impact a few things. First, we may not be able to accurately attribute the conversion, okay, to the campaign, as long as it actually gets longer. So let's say, for example, if a person click through your advertisement and they convert maybe 14 days later, that it will not be able to attribute back to the campaign that you have right now. So that's one of the things that is going to impact the whole thing. So yeah, so that's the thing. The attribution changes is going to be quite impactful. But if you are not, but yeah, definitely you will see definitely significant drop in terms of the conversion. However, what I always like to say here is, you do not depend on one conversion, so-called attribution, as in like one tracking methodology to track everything. So you can still use other things like such as, your UTM tracking and then your Google Analytics tracking and all these kind of thing, which is, in a way, I think you still be able to attribute back using other tracking. Just that when it comes to the ads manager part, it will not be directly attributed to the campaign itself. Now, put it this way, I mean, for those who just jump in, right, what I'm actually doing here is I'm doing an update about the recent hoo-ha about the Apple iOS 14 update affecting Facebook ads issue. So I'm doing a quick cover about what are the things that is going to happen. So this is really based on the current observation, based on what I understand. Okay, I may be wrong. I'm not saying that I may be wrong. There could be updates if there's anything changes, in the future. I'll be doing more sessions like this to share with you more information. But as of now, what I'm sharing with you here is really something that I understand and something that, you want to take into consideration in terms of doing some adjustment. Now, the next thing, the first three things that we mentioned here is the first is delay in reporting. And then there will be no support for breakdowns like age, gender, and all that. And the third one will be the attribution changes. Now, the fourth one is really on the targeting limitations. Now, definitely going to affect retargeting, as in like people who see your ads, because one of the super powerful thing about Facebook advertising is the retargeting, and especially our two-step funnel framework rely heavily on this thing. But we are okay because, for those who understand our two-step funnel framework, we usually go for an optimized conversion window, which is either 7 days, 3 days, or 7 days. So we usually don't go for too long term. So I would foresee the impact is minimal. We will still be able to do this kind of thing. Excuse me. However, of course, because there will be definitely people opting out from, allowing the app to track. So in terms of the effectiveness, we will see some impact. So the custom audiences that we are able to gather is definitely going to be smaller. That's for sure. That's the first thing that we will see. The custom audiences that will be, is going to be smaller. And then what else is going to happen? And of course, we may not be able to do effective retargeting as we used to do. But I think in a way, this is really something that is natural. But anyway, I'll cover about this later on in terms of my personal opinion. But let me cover what is really the changes first. So definitely the targeting limitations is going to be the next thing that's going to happen. And then what else? Dynamic ads limitations. They were actually putting some limitations in terms of the number of dynamic ads that you can run for each account. And yeah, so dynamic ads limitation, that's the number 5th item over here. And the next one is, in terms of the conversion events that you can create for each domain. So basically, they are putting a limitation of there will be only 8 conversion events that you can create for your domain. So what is a conversion event? Like, for example, if you run an e-commerce website, landing page view is a conversion event. Adding to cart is a conversion event. Initial checkout is 1, and purchase is 1. So you have only 8. So you need to actually, So like I say, it's still very unclear about all these implications. They are releasing this information and they are giving us, and this is based on what we understand. So there will be some variation in terms of understanding, but let's wait for the things to happen. Okay, don't panic. It didn't happen yesterday. It's not going to happen tomorrow anyway. According to the info, I think it will happen in early 2021. But we are very close moving into 2021. So I think a lot of people are still kind of like worried about this thing. But so that's the limit in terms of the conversion event per domain. So according to what we say here is, you can only create up to 8. So so there will be some issues about this. And don't worry, you see, if you're not sure about this conversion event, Facebook actually help you optimize and configure the events, most relevant to your events that is happening on your website. So a lot of people may not actually pay much attention to this, but don't worry, the Pixel is smart enough to auto-convert everything for you. So this is what we see. Fundamentally, it's going to impact 2 things. Mobile apps, definitely, if you run mobile apps, if you're a mobile app creator, definitely this is going to impact you. Whereby when you're running your ads, when you're advertising for your applications and all that for your mobile apps, there'll be a lot more restrictions. And so there will be limitation in terms of the advertising and limitation in terms of the data that you can collect. And on the other hand, of course, it will impact the Facebook pixel as well. So what are the things that we need to do? What are the things that we can do anyway? So there is nothing much, okay? In fact, Facebook is doing the hoo-ha. And first thing first, what I want to highlight here is this. It is not the final. Remember, every time when they want to implement something big, things can still change. They can still do U-turns and this and that, right? Just like many years ago, Facebook was saying that they're going to actually push the budget optimization to CBO, and they're going to remove the ad set budget optimization. And after hoo-ha for a couple of years, they decided to keep both. You know, and of course, this is something that involves Facebook and Apple, but I believe there must be something that can be done, and they might be able to reach something in between. So Apple wanted to do this to protect the user, and Facebook wanted to do this to help businesses. But put it this way, both has got their own interests. So I would say until it's finally fully implemented and going full force, everything is still very, very early to decide or to say that it's going to be damn bad and all this. But at the moment, nothing is going to happen. I'm just telling you what might happen. So in order to avoid anything happen to your whatever conversion tracking and all that, the first thing that you can and you need to do is to get your domain verified. So basically, what does it mean by get your domain verified? You need to verify your domain under your business manager. Now, for those who don't even know what is business manager, then you probably want to actually dig a little bit deeper. Now, you know, you definitely want to actually verify your domain under your business manager. And according to Facebook, they want you to verify all the domain variations, such as www.tribeupacademy.com, www.tribeupacademy.com, and all these kind of things. So this is what actually we have from them. And then, yeah, this is the only action that Facebook wants us to do right now. And of course, moving forward, as we receive more information, I'll be sharing with you more. But here's what I think. This is definitely not going to be just Facebook. In fact, what we have been observing, I was actually still doing research. For your information, a lot of browsers, whether they are on desktop or on mobile, a lot of browsers are moving towards kind of like doing some restrictions on Facebook Pixel and other tracking. So there will be some changes on the browser side. But what I'm actually trying to say here is the privacy issue moving forward is going to be one of the main things that's going to happen about, you know, on the digital marketing sphere. So more and more people will be looking at, you know, stricter privacy control, making sure that the users' data are protected. However, on Facebook's argument, they will say that, you know, I'm a free platform, I make money through ads, so I want to be able to do this. But what I'm actually saying here is, you see, when it comes to advertising, sometimes, I mean, let's take Facebook retargeting, for example. Because for the past few years, the advertising technology has been advancing so fast until we take things for granted. Because of the retargeting, because of the Facebook pixel, because of the mobile SDK, we thought that it is really a granted right for us, we marketers, to really use a lot of all these data. But of course, it actually makes us a lot of good result as in impact. But we also want to look at the fundamental of permission marketing is actually not really aligned with the retargeting. Now, when it comes to permission marketing, it's really I think this is a term coined by Seth Godin, which is my guru. I've been following Seth for a long time. But what I think here is when it comes to permission marketing, it really boils down to the user giving you the permission to track them. So in a way, Apple's action is moving closer to the real meaning of permission marketing. So yeah, there will be still definitely people who will give you permission to track them. There will be some people who don't. And same thing, like I said, I believe, same action is going to be taken by Google as well. As in that the Android platform is going to kind of like follow suit. We don't know when, but this is what is moving forward. This is what I think. So when it comes to permission marketing, I think it forces us marketers and forces us, we digital marketers, to take a step back and look at the whole thing again about permission marketing. Are we really getting permission to do this? So that's one thing. So let's take a look back at the way we do advertising and marketing. You know, is there any other way that we can do to actually get closer and even, you know, not to be affected by all these things? Like one of the things that I always like to highlight here is, you know, let's take a look at the whole thing at the larger context, whereby is there any way that we can get real permission? So, okay, put it this way. Like I said, okay, one thing I want to break down here, see, I actually put it on my note here. I get carried away a little bit, so let me move back to all these things. Okay, what it says, what I actually wrote here is this. When it comes to permission marketing, one thing, okay, all these is all talking about, all these are just talking about the tracking, automatic backend tracking on the app, on the platform, and on the, all these activities, browsing websites and all that. But it doesn't say anything about the data that you really collected. You get what I mean? It doesn't say anything at all about the data that you really collected. So like Apple is not saying that if this is really your email list and when you do retargeting advertising on this, they will ban you and all this. No, there's no such thing on that. So I think when you're able to collect more meaningful data, like let's say, for example, if you can do your marketing, like by creating real value, by creating, like providing value to get people to really opt into your universe, and you do different kind of marketing. So that could create, a different kind of outcome for you. So whereby what I'm trying to say here is privacy concern is definitely something that's going to get more and more serious moving forward. So whether you like it or not, Apple taking this action, Android may follow suit and all this. Then this is going to be something that will create a lot of awareness among people. Just like many years ago, when Cambridge Analytica issue happened, there was the time where Facebook was implementing all the apps, all the thing must actually give notification to the user to tell them what are the data that we are collecting. And are we actually losing the power of Facebook login at the moment? No. Everywhere we go, we get more aware about what are the data that we are giving away. Let's say when I use Facebook to log into certain website, I know exactly what is my right. So, the privacy thing is going to, the awareness is going to increase. It's going to get a lot more, obvious among the audiences. So it's going to be something that will push us moving forward. So what I want you to take a look at is there any way that we can relook into the whole digital marketing so-called approach that we are taking to see whether are we able to do things differently? So like yesterday, I was just chatting with Jean over there, right? I'm not sure. Jean, are you watching this with me? I'm not sure. I think email marketing is going to make a comeback, and permission marketing is going to become a more serious thing, whereby moving forward, people would look more seriously about permission marketing, as in real permission marketing. So you probably want to look at how do we create good lead magnet that get really people who are interested in your business to opt in, and then you do different way, not just on Facebook advertising only, but we think broader and look at the digital marketing as a more holistic approach, whereby we connect different things together, such as your website optimization, your email marketing, and you create value, giving front-end offer, and then building the whole customer journey in a more meaningful way. That's what I think. So that's what I see. So basically, it's like I say, the whole thing here is, although there is a hoo-ha talking about, I think what is not clear is when. So it's not now. So if you have some campaigns issue happening on your website and all this, and your campaign reporting and all that, it's definitely not because of this. It is not now. It's going to happen somewhere early 2021. When they say early 2021 without a clear timeline, we know that this is really something that is still very early to say. And they are just saying this is probably just the start of negotiation about this among these two giants. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I have about the whole thing. Chiwai was saying you've been digesting all these updates details whole day. Chiwai, thank you for your concern. No, I look like crap because I drove whole day. I just reached back home. I was on my short break. I was away. Okay, so that's what I have about what do we call this? What I have about the iOS 14 update. Now, we still have about 5 to 6 minutes. Do you have any questions for me? For those who are still watching this with me, this is me giving you a quick update about the Apple iOS 14 update affecting Facebook advertising, reporting, and tracking. If you missed the earlier part, you probably want to rewatch this thing. It will be live on my YouTube channel and my Facebook group over here. Right after this, I will publish this into the both platforms. What you're watching here is my AMA Sunday night show, Ask Me Anything Sunday night show, where I'm committed half an hour. I've committed half an hour at least every Sunday at 10 p.m. to go live on both platforms on my Facebook group as well as my YouTube channel to really answer your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So this is already our 5th week doing this, and I don't think I'm going to stop unless you have no more question about Facebook advertising. You see, all these are changes, and all these are good changes. And you know, as of now, not just me that's digesting the information. I think all of us are trying to figure out what are the impact that this thing is going to have on us. So don't worry. From time to time, if there is any updates that I have, you know, I'll be actually coming, sharing with you over here, whether on my YouTube channel or my Facebook group. And I really urge you to join me. You know, this is really something that I'm doing, you know, the permission marketing. You're not just joining me on my Facebook group, you're also on my YouTube channel. And for those who wants to learn more with me, you probably can consider joining I have some free courses around. You just visit my website, or you can actually join my 6-day challenge. I'm very excited because my number 6 edition of my 6-day challenge is going to happen tomorrow. And we have a very interesting group inside there, and I can't wait to learn with you. And you still can join. 6-day challenge is really something that I will work with you for 6 days straight. It starts tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. GMT +8 Malaysia time. So you have to check what is the time over on your side. So you'll be learning with people coming from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, US, Canada. I think this round we have all these countries. So we would actually learn with everybody from different countries, and to really learn my 2-step funnel framework. 6 days, every day I will teach for an hour. The beauty of this is I was just having a discussion with one of my so-called somebody inquired for corporate training. You see, the 6-day challenge has become a corporate challenge as well. It's beautiful. Why? Because instead of learning a whole day, you know, for the past 5 years, for those who know, I've been teaching, I've been training. I've learned with over 5,000 people from all around the world since 2016. But what I find is this, you know, the physical training, it's really limited, because when I do 1 day or 2 days with you, I have to make sure that I deliver everything within a day or two. But we all know that Facebook advertising is so technical, okay? And it's really difficult for you to absorb everything within a day or two. So when I break down into a 6-day challenge like this, you learn 1 lesson a day. And then after that, you need to go back and do your homework. The next day, you can come back and watch the next episode and the next lesson. And if you don't understand certain thing, you can always watch back inside, because the replay will kept inside the Facebook group. So it makes the learning so much easier. For those who learn with me in my 6-day challenge, I think you probably can relate. It's so much different from the physical training and different kind of training. And I teach live. Every day for 1 hour, I'll come into the group and teach live to deliver the lesson to you. So you can ask me questions live as well. So really, in my opinion, this is the best way to learn. And the best part of it is to join this 6-day challenge. It only costs you $10, and I give you back 1 cent. So it's $9.99. It's a no-brainer for a 6-day learning with me. So you can still join. We start tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. So you can actually follow. You can find the link somewhere, or you can go to matrababacademy.com and look for the 6-day challenge link to go and enroll. So yeah, search. Thanks. Yeah. So okay. So do you have more questions for me? At the moment, I've been yamming away for 28 minutes right now, and I'm supposed to answer your questions. But because we have this iOS 14 update, you know, I devoted the whole episode to talk about this thing, and I hope I give you better clarity. Like I say, verify. Your only action is verify your domain, okay? And then make sure that you actually stay updated, and then you don't do anything funny, because this thing is not happening yet. It's going to happen early 2021. We don't even know when. And stay updated. I'll post more information as I have it. Yeah, let's keep in touch and see, you know, how we can actually play around with this thing. It's definitely going to impact, but let's wait until the final thing. Let's see whether it's going to be bad, or is there anything that we can do about it. All right? Yeah, Nana is my founding participants. Nana is the participant on my first 6DC. So Nana has been, you know, a good friend for a long time, and Serge, and who are the people who have learned with me? We have Philip, we have we have Maria, we have Chiwai haven't learned with me, but Chiwai himself is already here. And then we have Joyce there. So these are all the good friends that have learned with me. Yeah. And somebody, I see Leon, you have sent me a Facebook message. Okay, I'll look into that. Sorry, I've been traveling. I lost I mean, I have not been updated about all the messages and all that. But let me get my team to look into the whole thing. And yeah, it's 10:30. We have just spent 30 minutes together. I hope I have given you some, useful information. Oh, Evelyn, oh, it's you. Okay, let me answer. Let me actually get back to that. So I hope I've given you. Hey, Philip, what's up? So yeah, so just do something about the latest changes and all that, and wait for things to happen. Everything is still not settled yet, and don't jump on it. Don't say that it's the end of the world, like a lot of people are saying about that. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, whatever it is, we marketers are. I mean, we are flexible enough to adjust ourselves to any situation. So no big deal. All right, that's what I think. All right, just play our part and start thinking and look deeper into the so-called overall digital marketing to see if there's anything that we can do. Hey, Kenny, what's up? Yeah, a lot of old friends over here. We have Joyce watching on YouTube, and I think Evelyn is also watching on YouTube because we are broadcasting from to both platforms. That's why that's the beauty of technology, right? You can broadcast on both places, and everybody can actually join from anywhere. So yeah. Okay, if there is no questions coming from you, I think we can actually do a quick wrap over here. So this is Jason. I'm your host for this AMA Sunday Night Show. Stands for Ask Me Anything Sunday Night, which Sunday night, 10 p.m., I'll come live for 30 minutes to answer any questions you have. I mean, my capability best, all right? Any questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing, and this is how we learn together. So if you find this useful, remember to subscribe and follow, or actually invite your friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or to actually get them to join my, the Facebook transformation group. Both places you will actually see daily update from me, about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So yeah, I look forward to learn with you. Thank you, Chiwai. Yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll take good rest. Don't worry. I'll actually get myself charged for tomorrow because we have I'm ready to actually work with this. I think we have 30 over people this round, smaller group, but I think it's going to be very fun. You can still join my 6-day challenge, visit my website to look at it. And okay, I'll see you Wednesday on my 3 Marketer show for those who follow. And if you're here, if you just want to come look at me answering questions, I'll see you next Sunday night. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook group, I'll see you next week. This is Jason, AMA Sunday Night Show. See you next week. Bye.